Welcome to the Wreck Silence Review Show. It's the third week of November, and we have 2 jazz albums left to review. Now, last week we reviewed the soundtrack album to the 1966 film of the same name, A Man Called Adam, featuring the great Sammy Davis Jr. This week we'll be reviewing the classic 1957 Dean Martin album, Pretty Baby. This album is a swing jazz classic. I have it on vinyl, as well as the CD version, where the record label decided to combine it with another Dean album in the same style. This time I'm swinging. I ripped it, and it's on constant replay on my iPod. And yes, it's 2023, and I still have a goddamn iPod. In fact, I have several. I don't buy music digitally unless it's the only option available. I own all of my albums on CD, vinyl, and cassette tape, and I rip all the CDs to my iPod. I don't fuck with Spotify or Apple Music or any of that fucking shit where they're overly compressed versions of songs are what you have to listen to, and the label can go in and cherry pick which songs are available. No. I'm not about any of that shit. As I've stated before, I'm an audiophile, and music is a very vital part of the arts to me, and I refuse to treat it like a common commodity. That being said, let's dive into our review of Dean Martin's classic album, Pretty Baby. The first song is called I Can't Give You Anything But Love.
Well, I can't give you anything but love.
A nice mid-tempo swing to this one. It's like walking down the street on a nice spring day, serenading that certain someone you already have a history with to go all in with you. No diamond bracelets or designer accessories here, and as Dean says, you know darn well, baby, that I can't give you anything but love. The arrangement is great, as is the melody and the vocals, and it's a perfect way to start this album. I give it a 10 out of 10. The next song is called Only Forever.
How long would it take me?
Coming off a seamlessly smooth transition from the previous song, it feels like a loose narrative is being executed here. If the previous song was Bearing Your Soul for Love, then this one is reassuring to that commitment, as Dean starts the song with, Do I Want to Be With You, as the years come and go. Only forever, if you care to know. There's a nice horn section on this one, and the backing vocalists do an excellent job here, as they did on the previous song. Excellent arrangement and vocals all around. I give this one another 10 out of 10. The next song is called Sleepy Time Gal. The hits just keep coming one after another, let me tell you. This whole album really executes that swing jazz style to perfection. Also, if you happen to be an avid audiophile like myself, I assume you probably own a high-end pair of headphones. I would highly suggest you pull those out, as this song and the entire album in general has a really nice warm low end that really cuts through in the mix. Another great song. I give this one another 10 out of 10. The next song is called Maybe.
Maybe.
Again, another classic here. That horn section in the beginning sets the tone immediately while continuing the momentum of the previous tracks. Even the horn solo in the latter part of the song sounds like Satchmo stopped by for a quick cameo, and the back and forth between Dean and the vocal choir is once again absolutely magnificent. I give this one another 10 out of 10. Those beginning notes just warm my heart. I can't quite explain it, but this song slows it down a notch and comes off as more reflective. It feels like withering love and discovering love at the same time, if that makes any sense. I can't really describe it. The lyrics clearly come across as a person who is emotionally exhausted in a relationship, wondering why their significant other even bothers anymore. And don't get me wrong, it does totally feel like that in every aspect, but at the same time, I can't help but feel like there's a flip side to that. When I hear this song, especially the first few opening notes, my mind automatically goes back to this episode of the classic 90s sitcom The Nanny. I think it's the one where Mr. Sheffield is going to visit his brother Nigel in Paris or something along those lines. I can't quite recall at the moment. but I do know for sure that Fran the nanny decided to tag along on the trip, and there's this specific montage where they're visiting all the iconic places in Paris, and it's impossible for my mind not to go back to that scene every time I hear this song. It gives me chills every time I hear it. I guess bittersweet is the word I'm looking for here. Another great song. I give this one another 10 out of 10. The next song is called Pretty Baby. The title track of the album, this one picks back up with that mid-tempo swinging flavor. This is one of the few songs with no additional vocals from the backup singers. You know, I'm really trying to find anything that may be a detriment to this album's quality to seem like I'm not being one-sided, but honestly, I love all of these songs. Another great entry here. I give this one another 10 out of 10. The next song is called You've Got Me Crying Again.
You got me crying again.
The vocal choir returns and starts the song off strong, leading directly into Martin's vocals, which leads into the choir and then back to Dean. The way they trade back and forth between one another really adds to the harmonic dynamics of this track. Another excellent entry here. I give this one another 10 out of 10. The next song is called Once in a While.
Once in a while, give a thought.
The choir starts this one off again before handing it off to Dean. Another bittersweet track here. Whenever I hear this song, I picture a man sitting at a table for one, outside a dimly lit cafe in the late evening, sipping on a glass of sherry, thinking about that one who got away, that one relationship that you look back on fondly, and in hindsight it seems like it was perfect except for the way it ended. You think about the years that have come and gone and the scars that time has left on you both physically and emotionally, wishing you could just go back to that one moment when the world stopped and there was only the feeling of serenity before it inevitably slips away. You know you can never go back, but still just the thought of that person prompts a part of you to wish them the best in life, even if it's ever so silently from afar. Martin ends the song with, I know that I'll be contented with yesterday's memories, knowing you'll think of me once in a while. What more can I say? 10 out of 10. The next song is called The Object of My Affection.
The object of my affection can change my complexion.
We're back to that mid-tempo swing again. This one is about being completely enamored with that special someone, knowing you can trust them to go about their daily business solo with no worries. I give this one another 10 out of 10. The next song is called For You. Another great song. Still in swing mode here with a nicely paced melody consisting of piano, horns, and a deep thumping bass. Not quite as stellar as some of the earlier tracks, but I still like it quite a lot. I give this one an 8 out of 10. We're down to the last two songs of the album. The next song is called It's Easy to Remember. This is a beautiful rendition of a beautiful song. It's a standard that was covered by everyone back in the day, from Sinatra to Doris Day to Billie Holiday to Dean Martin himself, and is from the Great American Songbook. I love this song. Dean does an excellent job here without the assistance of the backing choir, and the truth is, it's better off for it in this case. Now, I don't think the addition of their assistance would have taken anything away from the quality of this song, but something about this felt like 100% Dean, and it needed to be just Dean in its element. It's a really good entry to this album. That being said, I have to be honest. As much as I love this version, this is actually my second favorite rendition of this song. My favorite version isn't the Dean Martin version, or the Billie Holiday or the Doris Day versions, not even Frank Sinatra's version, and he's my favorite singer of all time. My favorite rendition of this song is from, and I know I might seem crazy for saying this, but I'm not joking in the slightest, The best recorded version of this song is from none other than Seth MacFarlane. And yes, I'm referring to that Seth MacFarlane from Family Guy.
I know it's over, and yet
Believe it or not, the man possesses a voice out of time that harkens back to the golden years of the legendary jazz crooners. But his amazing vocal talents aren't the sole reason that I find his version superior. That's only half the reason. The other half is the beautiful arrangement, both vocally and musically, and the way his version was constructed was perfect for his voice, and the creative choices made for cadence and delivery there are superb. Trust me, check out MacFarlane's version of the song, and check out all his music. All his albums are very good. The man is single-handedly keeping this genre alive by himself. I support all his music, and he deserves much more credit than being known as the guy whose show hasn't been funny in literally 20 years. Seriously, I'm completely bewildered as to why the man doesn't pursue this as a full-time career. He hasn't been involved in the writer's room for Family Guy for a very long time. All he does is voiceover work for Stewie and Brian, but he's not involved creatively at this point, so why not just go full steam ahead with the singing? Nevertheless, that's my opinion, and I give Dean's version of this song a 9 out of 10. And the final track of this album is titled, Nevertheless, I'm in Love with You. This is a perfect song to end the album with. Beautiful melody, great vocals, and overall arrangement is superb. Here, Dean pretty much says he doesn't care if his relationship with his partner is more one-sided on his side, nor does he care if he lives a life of regret for staying with this person because, nevertheless, he's in love with them. I give this song an 8.5 out of 10. Overall, this is a very strong album and one of my favorite records in my collection of music across all genres. Everyone involved killed it on this. The arrangements are perfect across the board, as are Dean Martin's vocals. The back and forth interplay between himself and the backing vocalist is marvelously done and adds some real nice barbershop quartet flavor to the album's sound. What more can I say? This is a real swingin' jazz classic and I highly recommend it to everyone. If you're looking to get into jazz music or into Dean Martin's music in particular, this is the perfect place to start. Overall, I give this album a full 10 out of 10. I'd like to take this time to thank my editor. I really appreciate all of your hard work, and I wouldn't be able to do this without you, so thank you. And to everyone watching, I'd like to thank you for your time as well. It certainly means a lot to me. I hope you all enjoyed this review, and I hope you'll join me next week for our final review of the month, Frank Sinatra's classic 1955 album, In the Wee Small Hours. Trust me, the best is yet to come. Until then, everyone, enjoy the rest of your autumn, be safe, take care of yourself and each other. Goodbye.